pin it over here. So quite often you are editing it. So you're still in the development, like 2 or 3 projects you're working, and you don't have to go each time locate where it is stored in your desktop and then open it. So if you just pin it over here, you can just click on it and the workbook opens. So that is a quick toolbar, that like favorites bar, that is presented over here. So you can pin it or remove it with this cross button. So that is one thing. And below, sample workbooks are given from Tableau. So to understand the interface only, basically, and to see what are the capabilities that Tableau has. So these are built by Tableau company itself, by their own developers, and for us to understand like how overall picture of Tableau workbook looks like. So these sample workbooks are provided at the bottom. So I'll open one of them when I'm explaining the interface and explain you like what are the different components of Tableau workbook. And on the right side, you have this Discover, which talks about the different trainings that are provided by Tableau company, and the resources of any blogs, etc. And I was talking about Tableau public server, which talks about different visualizations created by other developers. So some are picked up as the visualization of the week, so which is very good in explanation and visualization. So they are always provided over here. If you want to explore, you can just click on it and will be routed to Tableau public. And if there are any updates to your versions, they're always shown over here. And you can click on it for updating your present version of the Tableau. So as of now, I've opened 10.5 because this is what generally is used in the market. So I started with 10.5. We'll explore all the features, the basic building blocks of Tableau using 10.5 as of now. And when we go up to the end of the course, we'll see what are the other new features that are present in 2018.3 over here. So I'll update there and then show you what is present in those in that new version. So at present, I'll open a sample workbook so that we'll understand how a Tableau interface looks like. So first thing we need to understand in Tableau is like before you go and create a dashboard, the building block is a sheet. So these are the sheets. So this is one dashboard. These are all the different components that are there. In order to come to this visualization, you first have to build sheets. Each sheet will contain one visualization, one graph. And combining all of them, you come to something called a dashboard.
Okay.
So this is a map that they have put over here. And if you see over, it tells about the profit ratio and what is the profit ratio by city within that state. So overall for the state, how much it is, and how, and particularly by cities within that state, this is listed over here. And there are some filters which are made interactive. That is, the user can interact with them. So you can click on the dates or the profit ratio, and this is the legend which shows how the profit ratio is. The ones which are with a negative thing are shown with a dark brown, and those with a positive thing are shown with a darker blue. So these are the things like which are generally shown on a dashboard. And if you want to go to the particular sheet which is used for building this dashboard, you can click on a particular sheet, like it says go to sheet over here. So this is the view of a dashboard. So this is a dashboard view. So that's why the settings are, it just shows what are the sheets that are available in this workbook and what has been used. The ones which have been used are shown with a blue tick mark over here. These are all the things which are actually used in this dashboard. There are also other sheets which are not presently used on this visualization, but are part of the workbook. So ones which are used are always shown with a blue tick mark. So this is the one that is currently being used over here. So we'll go for one particular thing, say sales by segment. So this is the sheet.
Okay.
So in one sheet, you have one visualization. This part is called the canvas. So when we open a new, if you see over here, there is the button. Can you see like new worksheet?
Yeah.
And it also says new dashboard. So we are on the worksheet. So we'll just click a blank one. This is called a worksheet. So it is basically blank. This part is called canvas. and this
Mm.
is where you put in these dimensions and measures, so
Yes.
which build the visualization. So just a little bit later I'll tell you what is a dimension and measure.
Mhm.
So using only a dimension and measure will come up to a visualization. So
Mhm.
this is the place where you drag in and drop these dimensions and measures, and from where you get the visualization. So this part is called the row shelf. So each block or a component is called as shelves in Tableau, in the Tableau terminology.
Mhm.
So this rows is called the row shelf, and this columns is called the column shelf. So this tells us what are the dimensions which you are putting on the rows and which are put on the columns. So I'll just add one simple thing, product or subcategory. So I'm putting on the rows. So we see on the rows you are getting the subcategory values.
Mhm.
I'll put the profit in the columns. So if you see quickly, I have not done anything. So I just put subcategory and profit on the column, and immediately the best
Mm.
visualization which is commonly used is shown over here. So I have not gone and created visualization by myself. It is automatically populated by Tableau, telling like
Mhm.
this is something that you can use.
Mhm.
That is by default it has given me. And there
Okay.
is this show me tab or show me button.
Mhm.
Now here it tells us with these two things, that is one dimension and one measure, what are the other possible combination of the graphs. So I can select any one of these. So the ones which are highlighted, which are like not grayed out, these are the things which allow us to be created with this one dimension and one measure. So I can't create this one because it is blankened out. So it requires one or more dimensions and one or more measures. Side by side, I cannot create, but I can
Mhm.
create a stacked bar, and I can create a pie chart, or I can create this heat map. So these are possibilities which I can create.
Okay.
So each of these graphs completely I'll explain like how each one is built, and what is the purpose of each of these visualization. So this is just for like understanding how quickly we can build a visualization. So that's how and easy you can use Tableau to build your visualization. So just you drag and drop, and immediately whatever the commonly used visualizations and what else can be built using those number of dimensions and measures are shown on the show me button.
Mhm.
So you have seen this is the canvas and this is the rows and column shelf. The next thing is this marks card. So based on this visualization, these different components are put over here in marks. So each data point is a mark for Tableau. So each one has some particular property to it. So that's why you have color, you have size, you have label, you have a tooltip and details. So these are the different marks, and each one it has its own set of properties which we can edit. So those are enabled or given in this marks card. So
Mhm.
based on the visualization, each one will become important. For some, the size is important, and sometimes the detail is important.
Mhm.
And based on that, we may have to tweak the colors or size. So those properties we can easily do on this marks card.
Mhm.
The other thing is called this filter shelf. So in this filter shelf, whatever filter you are adding, that behaves like the where clause in the SQL. For example, if I'm saying I only want for binders, I don't want any other thing on this any other subcategory over here. So if I add subcategory over here, I can select only the binders thing and
Mhm.
apply it. So only binders are shown on the subcategory. So in this
Okay.
visualization, only binders will be set, and the user also cannot change it after you are publishing, because I'm not enabling it to be an interactive filter here. This is a static filter and a default one which I want to apply to the sheet. So such kind of filters are shown in this filter shelf.
Okay.
Only when you make this as interactive filter, that is when you
Mhm.
say show the filter like this, only
Okay.
then the user will be able to interact with it on the dashboard. So if you don't show that filter, if I
Okay.
say hide this, the card is not there, then the user cannot interact with the filter. It is a static one, and by default it will apply to this sheet. So only binders data will be shown whenever the user is seeing on his dashboard. So those set of filters which are by default applied are shown in the filter shelf. There's also the concept of pages, which I'll explain. It's a little bit of a deeper topic. So once we understand filters and all the basic level things based on the order of operations in Tableau, how this pages shelf is affecting the visualization, I'll explain. So on the left side, if you see, when we have seen the uh, interface for a dashboard, you have seen that sheets are being shown over here. So these are the things which you can use on the dashboard. But when you go onto a sheet, it will tell you what are the data sources that are available, and one particular data source we are connected to presently in this workbook. So what are those dimensions and measures that are there in this data source are shown over here. So there are the other things are also there, like sales commission and sales target, but we have not used any of the dimensions and measures from these data sources. We have only used the dimensions and measures from the sample superstore data source. That's the way it is shown with the blue tick mark over here. And what are the dimensions and measures that are there in this data source are shown over here. So that is the difference between the interface of a sheet and the interface of a dashboard. In a dashboard, only the sheets are shown. So already the ones which are already built, only those are shown in the workbook. Whereas in a sheet, you can have access to all the data sources you are connected to in the workbook. So this particular tab is called the data pane. And there is the concept of analytics that I have talked about, like predictive analytics, which we can do. So those are the things which are given in the analytics pane. So
Okay.
that we'll see when we come to this analytics tab. So as of now, understand there are two panes, that is data pane and analytics, which will be present in the interface of a sheet. And by default, like for all the tools, you'll have this main menu where you'll have this file, uh, and then they have the data menu,